The next two exercises I'm going to be demonstrating are to help with our core stability. So for the first one, you're going to need a pretty heavy weight. I like to use a 20 to 25 pound weight. That can also be 2 10 dumbbells in your hands. You're going to start by lying on your back. I'm going to take my kettlebell, I'm going to press it straight up overhead. And then from here, I'm going to take my legs into a tabletop position. I want you to start with that weight here right overhead. And then I want you just to take it a couple of inches back overhead, and as soon as you do that, you're going to start to notice how your body is naturally going to want to ground your rib cage down into the mat, and that's going to be important in order to keep the core engaged. A lot of times when people are doing core exercises, they tend to arch their back more than they realize, and that doesn't allow our deep core to stay engaged. So this weight, by knocking it back just a couple of inches, will help to maintain that connected core throughout. And then I'm going to challenge the exercise even further by reaching one leg out long on a 45-degree angle, reaching through my heel, holding for a good 5-second hold. And then you'll draw that leg back in, and you're going to exhale and reach the other leg back out. The other important thing to remember is as you're doing these exercises is to make sure that you're breathing throughout. A lot of times people will hold their breath during these exercises, and doing that actually decreases the efficiency of your core. So make sure that you're breathing throughout, and ideally exhaling as you reach that leg long to make it a more challenging exercise. So for this, I recommend doing about 2 sets of 15 on each side. So the last core exercise that I recommend is a side plank, also with a leg lift variation. So you're going to start with your forearm here. I want your elbow to be directly underneath your shoulder. And then your knees are going to be bent, and you're going to want to kind of line up your knees with about the middle of your forearm here. I'm going to kick one leg out, and then you're going to exhale, you're going to press up, and you're going to lift that top leg. So you want to make sure that you're staying in one nice long line here, making sure that your rib cage doesn't twist or turn, and that one hip isn't rocked forward or rocked back. You want to stay stacked throughout. So you're going to hold this position for a good 10 seconds. After 10 seconds, you can lower back down and then press back up into that same position. Again, maintaining for a good 10-second hold. If this position is pretty easy for you, then you can progress that to 2 straight legs out into your plank, and then you can challenge by lifting here. And again, holding for 10 seconds, closing the legs, settling the body back down, and repeat. And I recommend doing 2 sets of 10 on each side.